Today's pro tip is all about future proofing your inspiration. And that sounds kind of weird when I say it that way. You're future proofing your inspiration. We always talk about, if you have the budget, if you have the funds, future proof your technology. Buy a 4K TV because in a few years, everything's going to go 4K, or buy an HDR TV. Because everything in a few years is going to be HDR. So we talk about, kind of setting yourself up for success in the future so you're not constantly playing catch up. And today, for your design inspiration, if you have to design web pages, flyers, if you have to even social media posts, emails, any kind of content you're creating for your church, eventually you're going to come into a roadblock where either you have blank page syndrome, where you just can't get past a blank page, or you're looking at something you made and you think, how can I make it better? How can I take it to the next level? And so that's what I'm talking about today. Pro tip is to future proof your inspiration by creating what we call a swipe file. And it's called a swipe file because in the olden days, when everything was paper, you used to have a file in your desk. And whenever you got something that came across your desk, or something, you got a flyer or you got an ad, and in marketing, we would say, we really like this. This works for this company. I want to save this and draw inspiration from it in the future. We'd file it away and we call it our swipe file. And now that everything's digital, things live in so many places. My pro tip for you today is to organize your digital files into a way that you can store things to draw inspiration from later. So a few things that you can do is basically create a folder on your computer or on your cloud drive. If you have Google Drive or Dropbox, create a folder there. And anytime you come across a social media post, a website, some kind of graphic that you like, take a screenshot of it, or if it's a video, take a screen recording of it, and then file it away in your swipe file on your drive. This way, if in the future, if someone says, hey, I need a VBS flyer, and you have no idea where to start, you can go and look at one that you already grabbed online, or, hey, promote this event on social media. You might have swiped something from another church social media that you have stored away on your Dropbox. And it's just a screenshot. And then you can pull inspiration from that. I do it all the time with websites. I see a website, I see a landing page I love. I say, man, I really like the colors. I like the layout. Man, I like the way they phrased it. I will grab a screenshot of that website using one of our productivity tools. It's called, what's the Awesome Screenshot?
Yes,
I'll use Awesome Screenshot to take an entire page of the website, and then I'll file it away. And the next time I'm thinking, man, what really goes with pink? This brand has this pink, but I need a secondary color. I'll go to my swipe file and find a website that I've seen use pink before in a really good way. You can also create an email folder. If you get emails that you really like, emails from people that you like, you can swipe their emails, just put them away in an email folder. And then when you need to send an email and you're like, man, where do I even start? What layout works? You can go and look at emails that have found success before and draw inspiration from it. We're not saying copy, we're saying draw inspiration from it. You can also create a bookmarks folder. If you just have different resources that you use all the time, different tools, different ideas, just create a bookmark folder on your browser. And then, just say, this is my swipe folder for my desktop. So on mine, I'm looking on mine right now. I have several social media pages that I always go to. And so I just have them all there. I have several different landing pages that I draw inspiration from, different portfolios of other artists that I draw from. I have their portfolios bookmarked on my swipe file on my bookmarks. And then, of course, use the tool we've talked about before for physical documents. Use Cam Scanner. Because then you can take a picture of, if you see a bulletin that you like, if you see a receipt that you like, you can say like, oh, I really like this, the way they did this receipt or something like that. This is from my car dealership. You say, I like the colors on here. You grab a picture of it with Cam Scanner, file it away, and then next time you need to come up with some color combinations, some layout, some kind of design of a Connect card that you saw from another church, you just throw it in that file. And then in the future, if you have to do a similar project and you're just drawing a blank or you need some inspiration, go to that file, find something you've swiped before, and take that as inspiration or as a starting point to make something of your own. So pro tip for today, be a pro, because all the pros do this. Create a swipe file and start using it. Because if you start using it now, anytime you click on an email, anytime you sign up through a website, go ahead and swipe it and file it away, because that means it worked for you. And if you're trying to reach someone with your similar interests, or if you're trying to communicate in a way that has worked before, you've got evidence and you've got a place to start.
I think that is a great idea. One of the things that I do is I use, I kind of toggle back and forth depending on what it is. I will use Evernote for things like that. Where if I, if I sign up for somebody's course, or if I sign up for like somebody's webinar or something like that, and I really like the way that they are presenting their pitch for their subject, and the follow up emails and stuff, it's like, you know what, that's a really effective way. It piqued my interest, and I'm in this field. I will gather all those things, the follow-up emails, all that sort of stuff, and I'll put them all in an Evernote document or make a notebook or what have you. I have a notebook, I think, called Swipe Files, and then I'll tag it, Swipe, and then tag it with like email marketing, and then like maybe the person's name, if it's Scott Olford or somebody that I'm Ray Edwards or whatever, so that I can, like, I want to go through like Ray Edwards funnel for this type deal and see how it would apply. I think it's brilliant. I love doing it. I do that with Evernote. And I also use Pocket for stuff like that, where if I see someone did a tutorial or did an article talking about a certain subject and it's really good, and I know it's going to be applicable to my audience, I'll use Pocket to like save that article or that video or that tutorial or whatever, and then use that as a reference point. I love it. So great idea.